My mind is so powerful, you guys. All right. Yes, God. Hello, you little junkie whores. And today we're in my makeup room. Woo! You guys can't see, but there's like drag over here, wigs over there. I have the closet open, so hopefully it's absorbing the sound. So many people have requested the new Trixie makeup, and let me clarify, this is not like the permanent forever new Trixie makeup. I made up this makeup to go with my tour Grown Up because all the looks in Grown Up are like super 60s, super mod, super fun, and so I wanted the eye makeup to be a little different. The show is designed to have bangs, and so the way I do my makeup, if I didn't shrink it and migrate it a little bit, I would have just had like no eyes in the show, because right now the Trixie eyes are so big up here. I had to sort of like create a new makeup that lived a little more over here. So the new makeup is lit. I am so ready to show it to you. We're gonna start with gluing down the eyebrows. If you don't know how to glue down your eyebrows, I don't have like immense interest in teaching you because there's a lot of people who can probably show you better. Look at the Trixie mirror. No, it's not merchandise. A fan made it, but I love it. But this makeup was very inspired by, how do I marry like the Twiggy eye makeup to like the Trixie eye makeup? Less blown out and like smoky and more like black and white linear. So that like on big stages, because you know some of these stages are 1,500 people, how am I still gonna know people are like seeing my eyes, but not like dependent on showing my whole forehead? Because again, these looks have bangs. Glue, 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 glue. I just have to say this, isn't it crazy how many drag queens use glue stick, and the fact that like Elmer's glue has not done like a Pride Month ad? Probably because it's like a kid's product and oh my god, shut up. People need to stop texting me. You guys, the worst thing about social distancing is that everybody is texting me. People I haven't spoken to in like 5 years. How are you holding up? I don't know, we don't talk. Leave me alone. I'm gonna take a makeup wipe. These Comfort MAC wipes are amazing, but they are extremely expensive. You know, I take the extra glue off. I think you guys have seen me do this before. This isn't an eyebrow covering tutorial, so I'm not gonna like spell it out for you. Frankly, I don't think the earth needs more drag queens. So many drag queens now. Every hot gay with an Amazon account is like, I'm quitting my full-time job. I'm a drag queen now, huh? I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, the best thing about this makeup, you guys, is it literally is like 2 shadows. It's a black shadow, a white shadow, and like a gray shadow. That's it. Makes it extremely easy to put on. I mean, bangs are really the magic trick for drag. I remember there was one drag con where I had this like banged wig on, and I was like running super late in the morning, and I was doing press, and I was like, please God, don't let me walk under a fan, because there was like no makeup under my bangs. Moving right along. So I'm gonna wet this sponge. Oh, I forgot a powder puff. Okay. All right. I will say it's been really interesting because of the crisis. I haven't been able to have anybody at my house. Normally I have a camera guy here and my assistant, but instead it's been just me. And I'm gonna be honest, it feels a little weird being in the house alone talking to myself. Like at least before there was people on the other side of the camera, so it felt more like I was doing makeup for an audience of 2, and now it's like, hello? Babe? There's no one here. We're getting pretty close here. I think it's time to powder. I need one more thing. Okay. Almost fell. Okay. So, when I was on tour for Grown Up, which by the way, Grown Up is currently rescheduling. It's not canceled. So many of the cities we didn't get to make it to, we obviously are still coming. We're just waiting to schedule till it's safe. So, what I do on tour... Let me tell you about living in Hollywood. There is always police, and it feels like they never catch anybody. Ooh. Get over yourself. So when I'm on tour, I use MAC Studio Fix powders, and I take all the powders out of the compacts, and I put them like this. So these are like different face powders. I like to take one a little darker than my skin tone for blocking out my brows. Again, this is not a brow blocking tutorial, but I'm just talking to you. So I'm just gonna do some of my stuff that I know I have to do later, like my Tatcha Silk Canvas. And yes, I always start with my eyes first, especially with Trixie makeup. It's so big and crazy. So many times I finished the makeup and all this black has like shifted, and it's so frustrating. I don't know, this Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer is so expensive. I don't really know if it's good or does anything, but I had to try it. One of my friends recommended it, and it's fine. I mean, I think the Wet n Wild matte primer is kind of better. Fabulous. When I do this eye makeup, I basically do foundation on the eyes because I use foundation to be like primer, basically. So for me, with this heavy, heavy drag makeup, wet liquid foundation is like the best primer because I know the eyeshadow is just gonna like stick to my head. So I'm gonna use Maybelline SuperStay Full Coverage Foundation. You guys, I use this in the drugstore video that I did, the first video I did on this channel. Still use it. It's awesome. This foundation is amazing. It's so full coverage. This foundation is so full coverage that it actually like weirds me out to think that someone would just be wearing this during the day. Like this is an everyday wear product. And because it's so cheap, you guys, I feel like I can use it on my hands or my neck or wherever, and I don't feel like I'm like wasting it. Look at that. Nice and even. And this is a pretty good match for me. This is 120. I feel like people have asked me what kind of foundation I wear, and I'm like, Maybelline. And they're like, ha ha ha. I'm like, it's not a joke. Look at that. Stunning. I mean, look how nice and even that is. And it kind of dries like semi-matte, so it kind of really covers the brows really good. I'm just gonna get in my ears now because I always forget later. If you don't paint your ears, I don't see you. And sis, that's on period. Let's get into it. The great thing about Trixie makeup is the liner's so big, you can do the whole thing with your eye open. There we go. So this is that nice big liner that we're gonna build the rest of the makeup around. Cool. Other side. I think this is Anastasia black. It's really good. It's everything I want Carbon to be from MAC. It's like actually black. These don't really match so far, but it's not like the end of the world. Looking pretty cool. I'm gonna take like a little flat shadow brush like that. Nothing crazy. This is from Morphe, so it's awesome and not expensive. And I'm gonna do this whole look with this, I guess this 500-year-old gray eyeshadow. I think this is Scene from MAC or Print or something. I don't know, but let's just do it. And because we're putting shadow over brow that's covered, no scrubbing. Scrubbing is gonna like dig up the eyebrow. Do more of like a pat. Do you see how I'm like pat, 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 pat? I'm filming alone in my house. There we go. And you can see it doesn't look clean, but we're creating this like pillow of shadow around where we're gonna have this clean white line. But don't go up too high with this look. Like normal Trixie shadow really has a lot of like circular, like a gradient. This one is a little more like concentrated. It's just like a line that's softened. And bring it down almost to the tip, but not really. Look at that. That's pretty good. And the trick to this is we're doing like a, it's smaller than the normal. I mean, the normal Trixie makeup is like this big. It's huge. This one is gonna be a little more clean and a little more angular and a lot more linear. Again, we're trying to make this sort of look like lines and not big puffs of shadow. So on the inside, we're gonna go in and clean that with like white liner, but on the outside, we do want it soft, just don't soften it too much. Normal Trixie makeup, we go up and out. For this one, we're leaving the outsides kind of open. There you go, see that? And I mean, the trick to this is like, if you look straight ahead and you look this way, the angle of this upper part and the angle of this lower part, they match. Otherwise, it's not gonna have quite the like snatch effect we want. This is already pretty stunning. It's looking pretty good. I'm gonna deepen this though, because right now it's just one gray shadow. And I think we can add some depth here. I'm gonna go back into the black eyeshadow that we used to sketch the template, just like right on the inside of this. You don't want that much on your brush. You just want it so that once we add the liner, we really see like a deep black fading to a gray. This one, we're just trying to make it like a hard, dark gray with then like a soft blue gray in the same little like 1/4 inch little part. When you have this much makeup on, it's these little things, like little changes that make it so that when people see you up close, they're like, oh my God, your makeup up close is amazing. Oh my God, oh my God. This little bit of black actually gives the makeup like a vanishing point because that's going to be the lashes. So when the lash is there, we're going to see it fade from that gray blue to like a thick black charcoal lash. And we're back, we have both sides done. Looks like this. They're pretty symmetrical, let's be honest. I've got some different brown shadows laid out here in my palette. I'm probably gonna use like this one and this one kind of mixed together. With brows, I really like to mix two colors. It looks a lot realer. I always do the tip first. And then, yes, I lick a lot of products. Okay, all drag queens do. The nerve. Brow. See that? And then in the ends, I try to make it sort of congruent and like matchy-matchy with the angle of this. And that way the bottom, the crease, and the brow all kind of are going out at the same angle. By the way, that mirror on the wall over there, that's a Glamcore mirror. If you want to treat yourself to a fabulous makeup application experience, oh my God, you guys, bright, bright, bright LEDs all the way around, so good. That is amazing. So I'm gonna do a lot of the foundation off camera, but let's just clean up around the brows so you guys can see the storyline here. I'm taking my trusty, what is this? Nye Pale Bisque Matte HD Foundation. This foundation's not great, you can't wear it in real life, but I mean, when I'm on tour, I like to wear these like heavy theatrical cream foundations because they're so cheap. At least I know they're tested for like being on stage sweating buckets in front of people, you know. So I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna sculpt the brow. There we go. These are a little big for me. I'm gonna thin them out a little bit. Another good reason I like to start with my eye makeup is because the eye makeup is it's half my head. So to start with foundation and do all this like blending and stuff, and then I end up covering all of it, like what is the point? I know it's a little jarring to see all that extra around there, so I'll just go in and like soften it, but I'm gonna blend foundation into that, so it's not like the end of the world that looks kind of crazy right now. So I have this wonderful little brush from Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's just a little paintbrush. It's nothing special. It's the right size, which is important. So I'm gonna take some of my white liner. This is gel white liner from NYX, the best. Oh, if this black line that we sketched in earlier is gonna be the eyeliner, and I say eyeliner because it's basically on your forehead at this point, we know that the lid is going to be above that, and that's what we're drawing on right now. So do you see how I'm like, I can draw over this and it's not a big deal because I'm going to have to go in and redraw the black eyeliner, so you can like totally mess it up, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that this line you're drawing, the top part of it is clean, because that's pretty much set in stone. The top of it has to be clean, it has to be very opaque. Yes, God. So we're going to be connecting this. But before I do the connection, I'm actually gonna do the white on the bottom so that I have sort of a beginning and end, and then I'm just like marrying, you know? You see that? I'm just kind of like continuing it down. What I like about this makeup is when I turn my head, I like that you can see this like white wraparound porch. I just think that's part of what makes it look so cool. Look at that. What's great about this gel liner too is it dries so quickly that like by the time I've painted it on, if I wanna do another layer of white, I can. Look at that. That looks pretty sweet. It's a little big today. I don't know why I went so big, but at least maybe it'll help you guys see it really clearly. So at the end of the eye, it stays open. So I'm gonna take the very tip of this brush with some white gel liner, and this is so easy. I just give it a nice little flick out like that. We can clean it again later with black liner. So the bottom half of it, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna like sharpen it. Look at that. That's looking pretty cool. Look how even that is. Looks great. All right, so both sides are done. You can see they're kind of even. At this point, if I'm in a hurry, I'll probably just go ahead, but I'm gonna show you what I like to do, which is take a big white eyeshadow like this, completely matte. It keeps it whiter, but also it keeps us from dragging black liner over it and having it like skip or anything like that. And look, all that fallout on my face, I'm not even worried because I didn't do the rest of my face yet. I'm also just gonna take a little bit of that white gel liner from before, and I'm just gonna finish the brow bone by doing like a little racing stripe of white right under the brow. See, what a difference. Compared to that side, it makes a much like a brighter lift. And it's so easy that we're doing this while the brow bone is still like wet foundation on it because it's just blending right in. Look at that. Ah! This is stunning. So we're transitioning to black eyeliner now. So we use the gel white eyeliner from NYX, and now we're using the black one. Really nice and even here. And don't do what I've done so many times, which is like not really pay attention, and then I accidentally like make this black liner like touch the other one, and that does not look right, let me tell you. The goal here is to make it a really even white worm and leave it open on the end. This is where it does matter whether or not we got the brow smoothly glued down, because if this is really textured, it's gonna be so hard to get a straight line. See, look, I'm even following the template from earlier. I mean, it's so important to do that template because this whole makeup is built around your eyeliner. Isn't that satisfying to finally watch that get filled in? Oh. The end of this wing is really, it has to be perfect. So I'm gonna take a NYX Super Skinny marker and do the end of this liner. I'm also gonna take that pen liner and I'm gonna line the bottom here. At the top of this crease, I'm gonna line black. Look at the difference. Like, that is a clean line, bitch. Look at that. It's so clean. To finish up the lining, I'm gonna take more of that black gel, and that's what I'm gonna use on the bottom. That's the finished eye. Isn't it amazing? I mean, it needs a lash, but I love this makeup. It's so fun and weird and like so draggy, but kind of like fashion-y too. I love this makeup. All right, we have the wig on, we have the outfit on, we have the lashes on, we have the lips on. We're only missing a couple things here, which is blush. I'm gonna use Girl on Girl because it's my favorite. Oh, you guys, who is she? It's at this point in the makeup I look in the mirror and I'm like, am I beautiful or psychotic looking? I think both. Oh. And that's it, you guys. That's the look, the eye look from Grown Up. So cool, right? I don't know how much longer I'm gonna keep doing it. I don't know if it's gonna be like the semi-permanent look. It's just fun to be able to do something, I guess, a little different. I love this look though, and really, I mean, what did we use? It's like 4 products. I mean, if you want to be fancy, you could set the black part with black shadow, but I'm not fancy and neither are you. So thank you for joining me. If you wanna try this look, I would love to see it. Please do it correctly, and I'll see you soon. Bye.